All right, guys, game one of the finals between the Warriors and the Raptors. This game was amazing. Golden State's going to have some problems. Now, first, we got to give props. Player of the game, Pascal Siakam. This guy had 32 points on, I think, 87% shooting. Insane. The dude had 11 straight made field goals. That's got to be a record or something. That was just amazing. In this man's first final appearance, he balled out. Now, as a team, they all balled out. This was a great team win. It was led by Siakam, and they fed the hot hand, and he showed up, and he played big. But this was a great team effort. I believe Gasol got 20 points as well. He played well. Kyle Lowry, he didn't score much, but again, Kyle Lowry does so much for this team besides scoring, passing the ball, playing elite defense. He's not a incredibly one of the best defenders in the league, but he plays great defense. We gotta give Kyle Lowry credit. So he did a lot in this game that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, man. Fred VanVleet still has that hot hand, still hitting some tough shots, still hitting some good threes. Like, the dude is still playing. And Danny Green showed up. He hit a couple threes. We've been on him the past couple of games, especially in that Bucks series. He came out, he hit a couple threes. He did his job. He played great defense. Again, everyone played well. Ibaka did his thing. He wasn't really nearly as, aggressive. And that's partly due to Marc Gasol just being amazing in this game. So they didn't need Ibaka to go off and have a great game. But he still did well. I don't remember how much he scored, maybe like 8. But he still did well. He played good defense. They all played great defense. Now, in this game, Kawhi Leonard, not a good game for Kawhi. Like, honestly, this was probably maybe his second worst performance in the postseason. I say second worst because Kawhi was very passive in this game. He was very passive. The dude only took, I think 13 or 14 shots. Somehow he ended up with 23 points because he kept getting, he kept going to the free throw line. He had to get those points the hard way with James Harden. He only hit 6 shots, I think. So you have to get those points the way James Harden would get those points. But Kawhi did hit a couple threes, so that's good. Hit a couple threes, made some tough shots. And of course, he's playing that elite defense. This wasn't really Kawhi's game to go off. This was Siakam's. And I got to give credit to the Warriors. Their defense on Kawhi, bro, this is just on a completely different level than what we've been seeing. I'm not trying to speculate because I don't like doing that, but you can't tell me that throughout an entire dinner, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, something had to come up related to that. I mean, Steve Kerr is never going to tell the media that, but come on. I ain't trying to speculate, but I mean, come on, the way they were defending Kawhi, we've seen with the Sixers and the Bucks, the way they would double team and defend this man, and he would still be able to get his shots and get to his spots. Tonight, the way they were playing defense, they were doing the same thing, bro. They were just getting to him. They were bothering him, they were pressuring him, and they caused him to miss some tough shots. Now, granted, again, like I said, Kawhi was very passive in this game, and I think he looked around and saw how his team was playing early on and the intensity brought, and he just started looking for them, because a lot of times I see Kawhi get the ball at the top of the key, and he would just be looking to pass it. He'd pass, and they'd just go to the corner, and I'm like, all right, Kawhi, you gonna try and get aggressive or something like that? But nah, he saw how his team was playing. They were all incredibly aggressive, hitting shots and playing tough, and he trusts his teammates. And I think that says something about this Raptors team. The Raptors players, I think they really, truly earned the full trust of Kawhi Leonard in the Bucks series when they showed that when he's down and he's not scoring, they can help out. They can hit shots. And in game one, boy, did they hit shots. They took on the Warriors and they hit shots, but that wasn't the most impressive part. The most impressive part of Toronto was their defense. And good Lord, did they play extraordinary defense against the Warriors. Now, granted, I think Curry had 34 points. 32 or 34 points in this game, and Clay had 23, so it's not like they completely stopped them, but the way they were able to get these dudes down, for the most part, I think in the first half, Draymond and Steph, they didn't score anything after halfway through the first quarter. Between the halfway through the first quarter, all the way to halftime, they didn't score a single basket. And then for Klay Thompson, it was 6 minutes left in the second quarter, all the way to halftime. He didn't score another basket. The defense they played on the Warriors today was spectacular. Matched out with the offensive explosion of Siakam and the scoring, and you got Toronto taking game one. Now, this is going to be tough for the Warriors because late in this game, Andre Iguodala, Iggy just got injured. Seems like his calf is having another trouble. Calf injury. He may end up missing time. You don't know about KD's condition, and Boogie played in this game, but Boogie just disrupted the offense. It was not working. When Boogie was on the floor, it was tough for them to really score baskets and move the ball around. I don't know. For some reason, Boogie, you know this was his first action of being on the court since that playoff game against the Clippers. So he's going to have to get used to it. But man, he just disrupted everything, the floor of the offense. And it was tough when Boogie was on the court. So we're going to have to see how that goes. But the way this series is going, it's only one game, so we can't read too much into it. But I've seen Toronto play this type of defense throughout the postseason. They did that when they needed to against the Sixers. They for sure did that against Giannis and the Bucks. And they did it here in Game 1. So, the Warriors, they're going to have to make some adjustments. This is not going to be an easy series. And if KD is not coming back, they're going to have a tough time beating this Raptors team. Now, if KD comes back, we'll have to see where they go from there because having KD immediately starts changing things because now you got to have someone watch him, mostly Kawhi, but at least you know you got a lot of guys on this team that can play defense. Van Vliet was able to keep up with Steph Curry for the most part. Anyone who was guarding Steph Curry, either Van Vliet, like Powell, Danny Green, they were keeping up with him for the most part. So they can play good defense. They can play elite defense. As a team, they play elite defense. And they know when to get stops and when to make baskets. They were just so great in this game that I can't give them enough credit. Pascal Siakam was definitely the star of this game, but I can't give enough credit of how well they played as a team today, both offensively and defensively. And the Warriors, they're going to make adjustments, obviously, because it's the Warriors. And it's not going to be an easy series. To beat this Raptors team, it's going to be tough. But if KD comes back, we're going to have to see what goes from there. It'll definitely be an easier time for Golden State, I believe, because you got a guy in Kevin Durant who I feel like even if he misses this much time, he gets back on the court. He's going to take a little bit while to get back in his rhythm. But once he gets there, he's going to take off. So basically, that's all I got, man, for Game 1. It was a great win by Toronto. They played with pace. They had the lead, and they never looked back. Once they took the lead, they did not give up the lead, and they kept it. And they did what Portland was not able to do. They held on to their lead. In the third quarter, man, when you know the Warriors always go on that run, the Raptors were able to keep up with them and still keep that lead to a manageable, like 6-7 point lead. And even in the fourth quarter, when they kept it close, I think it was 90-87, they still managed to push the lead out, and then they just never looked back. So great win by the Raptors, great Game 1 win. It's in your house. You needed this one. Let's see if you can get Game 2 because trust me, when you go to Oracle for Game 3, it's not going to be easy to beat them. But it really shows the way they played today and the way they were able to get a win, especially with Kawhi struggling. It shows that this Raptors team is engaged. They're locked in. It also shows that the Warriors are rusty, but it definitely shows they're engaged, they're locked in, and they're ready to go at these dudes. So I'm proud of how they played. Let's see if they can do it in Game 2 on Sunday. Can't wait for it. That's all I got. Peace out.